Hello and welcome to Hammer Down Media. Once again, the mainstream media and much of Europeans' leaders have continued to criticize Poland for their nationalistic values and their strong sense of pride in their country and their culture. Just over a week ago, roughly 60,000 Poles gathered together for an Independence Day march, which has been going on since 2009 and has been growing in numbers every single year. The march was seen as anti-Semitic, xenophobic, and overall intolerant by much of the media and much of the European Parliament. But this is of course despite the President of Poland literally saying, quote, "There is no place or consent in our country for xenophobia, there is no place in our country for sick nationalism, and there is no place in our country for anti-Semitism." Poland's foreign ministry has also described the march through Warsaw as an expression of patriotic values. As you can see in these pictures, people during the march had signs that had the swastika and the hammer and sickle both crossed out. But of course the media does not want to report that. Instead, they still somehow claim that this was a neo-Nazi march or a neo-Nazi gathering. Many mainstream media news outlets have quite literally become a bigger joke than The Onion, which is a satirical news outlet. They try and spin all of these stories to fit their narratives, despite there clearly being evidence suggesting otherwise. But no, anything that goes against their narratives is not okay and can't be reported. On top of all of this, Poland also sees their Independence Day as a chance to revive the debate of the issue of the German war reparations that are due to Poland. Jarosław Kaczynski, who is the leader of the ruling PiS party in Poland, stated that the French were compensated, the Jews were compensated, as were many other countries for the losses they suffered, but Poland was not. But of course this all has to do with a much bigger picture of what's actually going on right now within the European Union. Right-wing nationalistic movements are starting to pop up all over Central and Eastern Europe, and they are going against the grain of the European Union and Western Europe. Countries like Austria, Poland, Hungary, the Czech Republic, they are all starting to wake up and realize that they do not have to accept the same policies which have greatly led to the deterioration of Western Europe. Countries like Poland have closed their borders and have refused immigration quotas put on them by Western Europe and the European Union. And because of this, that has upset many of Europe's radical leftists, like liberal Guy Verhofstadt of Belgium. Guy, who was once the Prime Minister of Belgium, is now a member of the European Parliament, where he is the leader of the group called the Alliance of the Liberals and Democrats for Europe. Guy has even gone as far to call on the European Union to invoke Article 7 against Poland, which would force the nation to repeal laws that tighten rules against asylum seekers and non-governmental organizations that seek to bring in economic refugees and those fleeing from wars in Africa and the Middle East. AKA, he basically wants Poland to have open borders and wants to force immigration down their throats. This article would also allow the European Commission to strictly monitor the use of the European Union funds by the Polish government. Guy has also insinuated that the people of Poland should not be punished for the actions of their radical government. Yet what Guy fails to realize is that this is the ruling party in Poland. This is the party that the people of Poland voted in. This is what Poland voted for. The people of Poland voted in officials who were going to defend their country and who are going to put Poland first. They voted for people who are going to keep bringing up the war reparations due to them by the German government. They voted for people who are going to secure Poland's borders and ensure that the people of Poland can continue to live their lives stress-free and not have to worry about terrorism. They voted for people who are going to help celebrate, maintain, and defend Poland's historic values and culture. This is why right-wing nationalistic parties are popping up all over Europe, and they are winning elections. This is why these movements are going to continue to grow rather than shrink. Even in countries like Germany, which are greatly dedicated to the European Union, have seen parties like the Alternative for Deutschland party start to form within their country and gain seats in their parliament. And the AfD, the Alternative for Deutschland party, is also a right-wing, nationalistic, anti-immigration party. We are seeing the European Union split apart at the seams, and it is because all of the countries that make up the European Union have a different idea of what the future should look like, and they have a different idea on how to achieve that future. If leaders like Guy Verhofstadt, Theresa May, Angela Merkel, and Emmanuel Macron all want immigration reform and want to bring in a bunch of immigrants which will drastically change the demographics of their country, then fine. But do not try and force the rest of the European Union and the rest of Europe to follow suit, especially when the countries that are seeing high influxes of immigration are also seeing a rise in terrorism, a rise in homelessness, an increase in degeneracy, and a decrease in the overall standard of living throughout their country. Oh, and an overall decay of their country's values and culture from within. I know, it sounds crazy. Some countries actually want to preserve their history, their culture, and their values. All of our ancestors fought to defend and establish these borders. And now, the European Union just wants to say, forget borders, why do they even matter? Guess what? They do matter. That's why the countries that are seeing mass influxes of immigration are decaying from within. They are drastically changing, and they will not be what they were 100 years ago, even 50 years from now. Why would any country, let alone the rest of the countries in the European Union, want to follow the same policies and the same path that much of Western Europe has gone down? Why would they want to see an increase in homelessness within their own country, or a rise in terrorism, or an increase in degeneracy? Why would they want to see a decrease in the overall standard of living, and why would they want to see the decay of their society, their culture, and their country from within? They wouldn't. So God bless Poland and the rest of the countries throughout the European Union and throughout the world that are fighting to defend their culture, their history, and their way of life. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you like the video, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below. That really helps my channel out. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button so that YouTube will show this video to more people. And if you really want to help support me, you can sign up to support me on Patreon or Hatreon for as little as $1 a month. I will include the links to both of those pages in the bio. So thanks for tuning in, have a good one, and God bless.